and as safely as possible. Thank you, Chris. Robert Peston, ITV.
Yeah, Robert Peston, ITV. Prime Minister, I was very struck by your choice of words. You said that you...
Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Gabriela Primus. Here's some of the stories we're following this morning. Friends, family, and some key figures will come together this morning to pay tribute to the late civil rights icon, Reverend Jesse Jackson. And the Bears make a big move and trade one of their key players just before free agency begins. And it's quiet right now, but we could have some severe storms come through the Chicago area later on today. Mike Kaplan joins us. Good morning to you, Mike. How serious are we talking?
Well, in terms of the storms, it's hard to say. I expect to see a few rounds of showers and storms today, into tonight, and even into tomorrow morning, and perhaps the highest risk of severe weather would happen tonight. But out there right now, this looks almost like yesterday, doesn't it? That is indeed the bean. We've got dense fog out there, and a dense fog advisory will be in effect this point until 10 o'clock in the morning, pretty much for all of Chicagoland. Visibility numbers are quite low out there, and we expect to see them continue to be less than a mile for much of the morning. In fact, we're looking at a quarter mile or less places like Woodstock, Aurora, even O'Hare down to an eighth of a mile, 10th of a mile at Merrillville. So give yourself plenty of extra time this morning. We'll analyze the timing of these thunderstorms crossing the area here in just a little bit. Gabriella?
Sounds good. Thank you, Mike. The public homecoming service for Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. is being held today. The service begins at 11 this morning at House of Hope. Doors open at 9. On Chicago Live, Fox Chicago got a chance to speak with one of Jackson's sons, Illinois Congressman Jonathan Jackson. He says his father always said he wanted to die with his shoes on, meaning he wanted to die working.
After he was dressed and put in the casket, we drove him down to Columbia, South Carolina, and now he's flown back to Chicago. So he took one last road trip with his shoes on, and there were 8 states to lower their flags. And so after we get through this mourning and grieving process, we're going to get back to his work full speed on diversity, equity, inclusion, on voter registration, increasing participation, and voter access. So the work will continue.
And you can watch the service right here. We have you covered today on Fox Local or on Fox Chicago. Israeli launches more airstrikes on the capitals of Iran and Lebanon as the war in the Middle East continues. Israeli forces say the strikes have already destroyed most of Iran's air defenses and missile launchers. The U.S. military also says it struck an Iranian drone carrier at sea. Meanwhile, Iran fired missiles and drones into Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain. As of now, there's no reports of any casualties from Iran's latest attack. 6 different businesses were hit in a string of overnight burglaries across several neighborhoods on the south and southwest side. Police say it all happened in just a couple of hours, and thieves got away with thousands of dollars. One of those businesses is Angelo's Stuffed Pizza. They have been a staple for more than 30 years now in that area. The owner says the thieves smashed the front doors, made their way in, and took thousands of dollars.
Took our registers. They took some cameras that we use for our photos for our social media, laptops. They were able to get downstairs into the office, broke some doors, and took some money from the safe there. So we had our rent money downstairs, so they took our rent money, close to $5,000 altogether, like $5,500 somewhere under. As you can see, there's damage to our property, our tables, our tile. The video surveillance shows that they were just throwing things and, running around, jumping over counters.
No arrests have been made in this case, but police are looking for a black Infiniti sedan that was used as a getaway car. Joliet City Hall was packed for a public hearing about a data center coming to the community. Residents were invited to give their opinion during the meeting. They're concerned about data centers' impact on the economy and the environment. The proposed data center would be built on 795 acres of farmland on Joliet's east side. There will be thousands of construction jobs, and the center will pay property taxes. But Joliet's residents still want to know how it would impact their household costs.
Joliet has a generational opportunity in front of it to attract a major long-term investment that can create jobs, strengthen the tax base, and signal that Joliet is open for responsible growth.
These are mega rich people. They're not here doing charitable acts for us. They're not coming from Virginia. They're not coming from Texas because they love Joliet. I'm here because I love Joliet, and I don't want our utility bills to go up.
The council will vote whether to annex the farmland to Joliet, which would be the first step towards possibly approving this project. The CTA has 2 weeks to submit a new safety plan to the Federal Transit Administration or risk losing $50 million in funding. The government agency says the CTA's current safety plan is not enough to enhance safety for CTA riders. Fox Chicago has reported some high-profile incidents on the CTA in the past few months. You might remember this. 2 incidents include on the Blue Line, where one woman was lit on fire and another was stabbed to death. We spoke with the group Violence Interrupters, who have been riding the CTA for months. They say they've de-escalated plenty of incidents that could have turned violent.
Need people that understand the population of individuals that board the trains. That's most important. You got to have people on them trains that know how it looks. You know how it looks when a person is about to commit an act of violence. So my thing is, once you get the right individuals on the train that know how to communicate and network with that population, you'll be okay.
The CTA has until March 19th to submit a revised security plan. People living by the Obama Center in Woodlawn are either dealing with higher rents or they're forced to move out. Over at Cheney Bragg's Apartments near 65th and Stony, families formed a union to push back. They're facing a buyer from California who is looking to gut or tear down the building, which would mean higher rent for everyone at some of those tenants. And some of them were offered $2,000 to leave even after years in the building. Neighbors and local leaders are asking the city to keep housing affordable.
I want to stay right where I'm at. I don't want to be forced out. I don't want to be told I have to leave. I want to be able to stay. I want to be able to let my daughter stay here, and then I want her to grow up in the same building I grew up in.
Residents say the building was once owned by a nonprofit focused on community stability, making sure families had affordable housing. All right, the Chicago Bears made some roster moves yesterday, Mike. I saw it all over my social media between them and the Buffalo Bills. Explain for us.
Well, you know, I've been talking to a lot of people, including our director. I think most people are okay with the DJ Moore trade. It's never easy saying goodbye, especially to a player who's done a lot for this team. But the team needed cap space, so they felt it was right to trade DJ Moore to the Bills. According to multiple reports, the Bears are getting a 2026 second-round pick. That's pretty good. While the Bills get Moore and a 2026 fifth-round pick. A couple of years ago, Moore signed a massive 4-year, $110 million extension with the Bears. That extension was set to begin during the upcoming season. However, it's $28.5 million cap hit for this upcoming season. Simply too much. So the Bears have need in other spots now. We got to get a center. So by trading away Moore, the Bears have freed up $16.5 million in cap space. That was not the only move they made yesterday. More reports coming out. The Bears are releasing this guy right here, linebacker Tremaine Edmunds. This comes after the team reportedly gave him permission to seek a trade. Since they were unable to find a worthy trade partner, they have decided to cut him, and that is a savings of about $15 million. We will see if the Bears make any more moves before free agency starts next week. The Bulls, they've got another winning streak going. They pick up a win against the Phoenix Suns. Fourth quarter, Bulls up by 9. Yuki Kawamura feeds Leonard Miller for the powerful finish. Bulls up by 11. Less than 30 to go. Suns cut the deficit to 4. Devin Booker buries a 3. Suns now down by only 1. Just a few seconds left in the game. Bulls with a 2-point lead. Nick Richards misses the free throw, and Trey Jones grabs the loose ball, throws it up high as time expires. Bulls win. Bulls win. 105-103. Here's a look at today's schedule. The Blackhawks back home. They will be hosting the horrible Vancouver Canucks. Puck will drop there at the UC at 7:30. Team USA takes on Brazil in the World Baseball Classic, and that is a game you can see right here on Fox Chicago. First pitch is at 7 p.m. when there may be some scattered thunderstorms in the area, and that's not the only time that we may be dealing with those. Out there right now, as you look at kind of a murky view of the aquarium, fog is the main problem. It can be kind of a crazy day today, temperature-wise, too. Here's where we are now. It's only 37 at Waukegan, but it's 50 at Joliet, Kankakee, 47 at Merrillville, a pair of 43s for O'Hare and Midway. A surge of unseasonable warmth is going to kind of blow up from the south here, but along with that come the risk of strong thunderstorms. There was, I think, 2 fatalities last night from a tornado in Oklahoma. In that area, again, under the gun, that enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. In the Chicago area, we're kind of split. The farther west you are, it's a slightly higher chance of a severe thunderstorm, level 2 out of 5. City into northwest Indiana, kind of an I-55 and points east for the most part. It is a level 1 marginal risk of severe weather. It's still, in my opinion, really iffy that we get severe weather. What about timing? Well, we're dry for now, but late morning, here you see showers and thunderstorms crossing the area, 10 o'clock, impacting areas especially from the city and points north. And then it's intermittent action even into the afternoon and evening hours with another round of thunderstorms coming through here tomorrow morning before finally getting out of here somewhere between about 7 and 8 o'clock. The rest of the weekend looking pretty good. Temperatures will be falling tomorrow, but on Sunday, sunshine, 60 degrees. That's going to be pretty nice out there.
Ooh, I like it. Thank you, Mike. All right, coming up on Good Day, a major shakeup in President Trump's cabinet. Who will now take over the role of DHS Secretary after Kristi Noem was given the boot? We'll be right back. Welcome back. Here's a look at our top stories this morning. The public homegoing service for Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. is being held today. The service begins at 11 this morning at the House of Hope. Doors open at 9, and you can watch the service right here on Fox Chicago or on Fox Local. The CTA has 2 weeks to submit a new safety plan to the Federal Transit Administration or risk losing $50 million in funding. The government agency says the CTA's current safety plan is not enough to enhance safety for CTA riders. The CTA has until March 19th to submit a revised security plan. And the Bears send DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. As part of the trade, the Bears will get a 2026 second-round pick while the Bills receive a fifth-rounder along with DJ Moore. This will help clear up more than $16 million in cap space as the Bears get ready for free agency to start. All right, moving on to some national news. President Donald Trump fires Kristi Noem as Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. This comes following reports he was furious over her recent testimony on Capitol Hill. She's been getting grilled over the management of Homeland Security and immigration enforcement around the country. And of course, this includes two separate incidents in Minnesota that left 2 people dead. The tipping point stems from her recent testimony claiming President Trump approved a $220 million ad campaign for DHS. But the president, however, says he did not authorize it and says he didn't know about the ad. She delivered some remarks in Nashville, Tennessee, where she praised law enforcement and public safety efforts in major cities.
The sacred duty of our government truly is that people are entrusted to secure the rights also of all the American people. You know, the Declaration of Independence states that governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed, which is the people. The people give us the right to do our jobs each and every day. And as long as this world is fractured and as long as human nature is fallen, we will need brave men and women who step up and serve and enforce our rights and our laws and our values.
Taking over her job is Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, who was nominated by President Trump. He's considered to be one of his closest allies on Capitol Hill, so he served years in the House before being elected to the Senate in 2022. The change takes effect at the end of the month. Plenty of Democrats have been speaking out about Noem losing her role. This includes Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who said while Noem might be gone from office, she will still be held accountable for her actions, especially in his state.
Hey, Kristi Noem. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Here's your legacy. Corruption and chaos. Parents and children tear-gassed. Moms and nurses, U.S. citizens getting shot in the face. Now that you're gone, don't think you get to just walk away. I guarantee you, you will still be held accountable.
And one of the first to respond, Illinois Democratic U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, he posted to social media about the news, saying in part, our country expressed outrage. She repeatedly lied before Congress, and even the president finally conceded she was unfit for the job. All right, 446. Mike, this fog can get lost.
I know. Look at the roof there as our satellite dishes.
Stays.
Yeah, we have dense fog for all of Chicagoland, very similar to yesterday. Although on my drive in, the fog was maybe not as bad. But here's the deal. In addition to the fog today, we have thunderstorms on the way, too. And some of those could be rather intense. I think the morning action is most likely city and northwest. Temperatures will be in the process of kind of climbing. By noon, still could be a few scattered storms around, 58 degrees. And then we're heading for the upper 60s. But parts of Chicagoland will get into the 70s. I think south of I-80, maybe 73, 75 later on. But all of Chicagoland could get a thunderstorm at some point. Dense fog advisory till 10. All of Chicagoland. Visibilities are quite low out there right now. Here is the first salvo of showers and thunderstorms. You see it assembling off to the northwest right now, moving through Iowa, about to poke into northwest Illinois. The trajectory of that activity, I think at least initially, will favor city and points northwest and maybe even more northwest than that. But eventually we'll all get some showers and storms here. 68 is my number for O'Hare, but there's going to be a big temperature spread. 75 south, 62 north. If we hit 70 today, it would tie the record set most recently in 2000. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lows eventually toward daybreak tomorrow will get to 58 degrees, but the high will happen overnight, 64 tomorrow. Then things dry out tomorrow afternoon. Sunday looks magnificent. We just lose an hour of it because of daylight saving time. 68 on Monday, and then some new showers arrive Tuesday and Wednesday as cooler air moves in as well.
And just so you know, Mike, I think a big fan will help get that fog out of here.
You think that's what we need?
Yeah, we should rent one out. All right. Thank you very much. Coming up, a local college makes history after installing its new school president. Details when we come back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Chicago's 3 largest animal welfare groups came together to announce new programs and support the mayor's latest appointment for Chicago's Animal Care and Control Director. Susan Capello attended the news conference joined by Paws Chicago, Anti-Cruelty, and Treehouse. Before her appointment, she spent 3 years as acting director before getting the job back on February 12th. But remember, several aldermen signed a letter demanding the mayor launch a national search instead. They claim high euthanasia rates and shelter conditions that neglect and endanger dogs, cats, and volunteers. But the organizations at the news conference, I should say, backed Capello, saying those aldermen have no idea what they're talking about. They believe the new programs under Capello's leadership will continue to bring the euthanasia rates down in Chicago. And history was made at Columbia College as the school installs its first black woman president. Dr. Shante Bolton is also the first woman to lead the school in nearly 90 years. She was appointed back in July, but she was just formally installed on Thursday. At the ceremony, she had a special message for her son.
You are my heart. You are my why. You give me light and a purpose to fight for others with fearless advocacy. I want to thank you for teaching me how to show up for others in love and kindness. I love you.
Dr. Bolton has held executive roles at several other schools, including Georgia Tech, Washington University in St. Louis, and Tulane University as well. Congratulations to her. All right, when you think of beautiful colleges, does Aurora come to mind? Well, it was just ranked the 3rd most beautiful college campus in the country. The list of 30 schools was put together by U.S. News and World Report. Now, Aurora University was the only college in Illinois to actually make this list in general. It was highlighted for its historic architecture, landmark buildings with red tile roofs, and its tree-lined entrance walkways.
To be recognized among this 30 institutions, it's really incredibly meaningful. We consider ourselves to be a bit of a hidden gem, so this certainly raises our visibility, and we hope that people will appreciate it, and maybe if they haven't been to campus, they might take the time to come and visit us.
Aurora University was founded in 1893 and serves more than 6,000 students. Interesting.
How did I not know this?
I don't know, but I will say, I know driving by, I've been, looking out the window, admiring how beautiful the campus was and how little I knew about it, really.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're getting recognized.
Good for them. I love the pictures that they had there, and those buildings did look beautiful. So congrats to Aurora University. We have showers and thunderstorms on the way. So why don't we start with a look at the old radar here. Right now, almost all of the activity, not all, but almost all, is still west of the Mississippi River. I'll zoom in here on this a little bit, and you can see a couple of these showers have moved just north of the Quad Cities, right around the Davenport area. But this activity will eventually start to migrate a little farther to the east and get into the Chicago area. Now today there is a risk of severe thunderstorms. This is the outlook for severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center, and you can kind of see how the Chicago area is divided in half. The farther west you are, that's where there's a higher risk, a level 2 out of 5 for severe thunderstorms. For most of Cook County, eastern DuPage, all of northwest Indiana, it's a level 1 risk of severe thunderstorms. Prime time for severe weather would be late afternoon and tonight. I think the morning activity is not likely to be on the severe variety. This morning we start out with dense fog again, dense fog advisory till 10, but then here come those scattered showers and storms. Gabriella just mentioned needing a fan to kind of disperse some of this fog. Mother Nature will be turning that on. We are going to get some gustier winds here. Temperatures today, and let me show you how this is going to play out. It's going to be a spread from north to south. If you are, our model thinks it gets to 68 at Waukegan. That may be a stretch, maybe more like 62. But look at these 70s showing up, especially south side of the city into the southern suburbs. So an unseasonably warm day. Should we hit 70 at O'Hare, it would tie the record set most recently in 2000. 7-day forecast will continue with a shower and thunderstorm threat early tomorrow morning. Then we're dry through Monday with pleasant temperatures. Daylight saving time starts Sunday morning. Next chance of showers Tuesday into Wednesday as cooler air moves in. 4:55. We'll be right back after this.
32 and Fox Local.
Welcome back. A group of tech investors is suing President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi over its sale of TikTok. They claim the president and Bondi illegally allowed the sale of the social media platform, causing the great financial harm. The lawsuit argues the administration's approval of the new deal violated a law requiring the platform's China-based parent company, ByteDance, to divest from the app or face a ban in the U.S. Police in Austin, Texas, released new video from Sunday's deadly bar shooting that left three people dead and injured more than a dozen. A clip then taken from a vehicle near the bar shows the 53-year-old suspect walking in a parking lot carrying an AR-15 before the shooting starts. Investigators also released body cam footage showing officers exchanging fire with the suspect who eventually was killed. The FBI is looking into this motive and treating this as a possible act of terrorism. Stay with us. We'll be right back.